Assalamu alaikum, Imam Asif. How are you doing?
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Good. This is the last installment of this Ramadan series. So, for anybody who's been following us or watching, we really honestly, sincerely appreciate it. If there's any feedback as to how we can get better, please let us know. The Imam and myself have been honored to have gone through some of these topics. I feel honored to have sat with such a religious scholar of knowledge. And so, inshallah, we ask Allah that to accept from us. We ask Allah to accept from you. And inshallah, hopefully you find these beneficial. Please share these with your friends and family on Facebook, wherever, as it will, help the masjid and Imam Asif as well. So today's last video will be about Eid as well, but more so around the practices of the rituals. We're still in COVID time, and so we want to go over Imam Asif. I have two parts to this question. I'm going to ask you the first part first. So how would one pray at home, Eid prayer?
So you have to understand this, that praying Salatul Eid at home is a little controversial among scholars. There's a group of scholars who give permission, and then there's a group of scholars who say that no, there is no Salatul Eid at home, and there's back and forth argument. But we're going to just simplify this for our audience because of the COVID factor, because some people will still prefer to pray at home. So majority of the scholars say that if you didn't pray Salatul Eid in the masjid, or if you missed Salatul Eid, or if you couldn't pray, then you can make up at home. It's recommended to pray that at home. And then they were going to say that you can either pray, when you're praying alone at home, you can pray 2 or 4 with takbirat or without takbirat at home when you're praying alone. So when you're praying alone at home, you can pray either 2 rakah or 4 rakah with takbirat or without takbirat. It's recommended according to one group of scholars. Second group of scholars say that no, once you miss the Eid Salah in Jama'ah, there is no Eid Salah. So you have to do Jama'ah at home. You cannot pray alone. Doing Jama'ah at home, you need to have minimum quorum of people, and that is Abu Hanifa says that at least 4 men need to be there. Ibn Taymiyyah says at least 3 men. Imam Hazm says 2 men, and there is a big evidence discussion. Imam Malik says 12. So basically, you need to have a congregation, not alone, because the Jama'at can be made with more than 1 people. So you need to have a minimum quorum, and then you can basically give a brief khutbah and pray Salatul Eid. Some people say even if you skip the khutbah, it's fine. Actually, first pray Salatul Eid and then the khutbah, because Salatul Eid khutbah comes after. Some scholars say even if you skip Salatul Eid khutbah and when you're making Salah at home, it's fine, because it's not obligatory to start with, not like Jummah khutbah. So basically, there are different variants. If you want to summarize all that, first, majority say it's recommended to pray 2 or 4 with takbirat or without takbirat if you're praying alone at home. If you're doing Jama'ah at home, then you can do like a regular Jama'ah if you have a minimum quorum of the people. And Eid khutbah is not mandatory, so if you don't remember how to give khutbah and anything, just lead 2 rakah with takbir or without takbir, and that will be your Eid Salah.
Okay, so just to recap, if you're praying alone, that is okay by some smaller group of scholars. The majority of scholars say you should pray in Jama'ah at home, and specifically,
I would say that both the sides have a good number of scholars. So I would say group of scholars instead of majority minority.
Okay, so a group of scholars, and then additionally, khutbah is optional, recommended. So if you don't know how to do that, then that's okay. Now we get into the actual ritual itself. And so I understand that there is a differentiation in each of the madhabs. So how do we pray the actual ritual?
So the biggest difference is the takbirat in Salatul Eid. So one opinion says that you will say 6, the other say you will say 11, the other say you will say 12. And all of them are coming from the different sahabas narrated to different imams of the fiqh. So whatever you feel comfortable, you will do it. Hanafis will do it first when they will start prayer. They will say 3 times additional, and then second rakah before they will go to ruku. The rest of the people, rest of the 3 imams, we're going to say no, we won't go to the ruku. the moment he will say first Allah Akbar, you would say first 7, and then the next rak'ah before Surah Fatih, you will say next 5. So that's how you're going to do. So because the matter is flexible, so, and most of these scholars are saying additional takbirat is sunnah, according to most of these scholars, not all. So the matter is a little, matter is not narrow, matter is very wide. So we can do whatever opinion is convincing to our heart, or whatever we remember on the at the end of the day.
Okay. And lastly, the time. So when does Eid Salah time start and when does it end?
You can pray anytime until Zawal time, that's Zohar time. You can pray anytime until that.
So what exactly is
from sunrise until let's say maybe around 12:30ish, 12:15ish in our in current time.
Okay. All right. Okay. We appreciate that answer, and inshallah we will meet again. We thank you for all of the listeners who have followed us throughout the month. Take care, and thank you, Imam Asif, once again.
Thank
Assalamu alaikum.
you. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.